Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is the second part of my Italy little vlog journey. I have arrived in Rome. I did a part one where I visited Venice, Bologna, and Florence. So if you want to see that, if you haven't already, I will link it down below. But this vlog is going to be all about Rome. Rome is my favorite city in the whole world. I am so happy to be here again. I haven't been in quite a few years. I think this might be my fifth time in Rome, but I might be wrong. I might be forgetting one, but it at least my fifth time here. And what I love about Rome is just that it is kind of everything. You have the ancient parts, you have the beautiful historical Italian parts, and then you have the modern parts, and it just fits together in a way that I'm absolutely obsessed with. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here again. I should look up my last vlog, but it doesn't matter. We are in Rome. I have a very lovely hotel. It's very close to the train station. On my previous trips, I think I usually stayed a little bit closer to the sites, but it doesn't really matter. You have the metro and the buses, so it should be fine. But yeah, it's a nice hotel so far. It was a little bit chaotic getting here because yeah, they told me they would bring my luggage to my room. Then I went to the room, then it was different luggage. It wasn't mine. I went back downstairs. I was like, "Come on, I don't think it's the right room." They were like, "Yeah, it's the right room, just the wrong luggage." But now the correct me and the correct luggage are in the correct room. While I was waiting for the room to be ready, I decided to just venture down the street to go to the Forum Romanum and the Colosseo for the first time. It's so nice to be back. It's so nice. I just love being here. So for my plans, I think tonight I want to go to the Piazza Navona, and then tomorrow I have booked a guided tour for the Colosseum and the Forum Romanum, and I think the Palatin as well. So I have done tours like that before, but I just enjoy them every single time, so I can't wait to do one again tomorrow. And then probably after that, I will explore a little on my own, maybe go to the Pantheon, or yeah, I'm not quite sure. But there's just so much to see, so I will probably come up with something. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I will have to check that the things are actually open as well. Sunday and Monday are a little bit tricky to travel in Italy because then things might be closed. So I will have to check. But on Monday, I have a guided tour for the Vatican Museum. And sadly, after that, I wanted to go to the, what is it called in English? The Angel Castle? Castle of Angels? I don't know what it's called. But unfortunately, that one is closed on Mondays. So maybe I do that tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not quite sure yet. But as I said, there is so much to do and so much to see, so I won't run out of things. I'm here for 2 full days, and then I will travel along to some other more northern cities again before I go home, but that will be a complete vlog on its own because I don't want these to be too long, and I tend to babble a lot and also to take a ton of footage. So I hope you enjoy watching my Rome vlog. I hope it will be interesting, and I can't wait. I really can't wait to take you along. So good morning. Today is my first full day here in Rome, but before I head out to that, I thought I'd quickly share with you a little bit about last night, because I did go out to see some of the sites that I think are best enjoyed during the sundown times and when it gets dark. So, yesterday I decided to go to the Spanish stairs on the Piazza Spagna, and then also to the Fontana di Trevi, and also the Piazza Navona. And those are all places that are very beautiful at night, where you can get dinner at a lot of like touristy restaurants. And yeah, it's just kind of the place to be when it gets dark and everything is like lit up nicely and stuff like that. So maybe a little bit about getting around Rome. I tried to take the bus yesterday and it did not happen. I waited for half an hour. The bus never showed up. I think there should have been like 3 buses during the time I waited there, and it never came. Also, here you have to signal the buses if you want to get on, and I don't know the trick of that, I have to be honest. Like, some people managed it, some did not. And so, if you've watched my Paris vlog, there I said I would highly recommend taking the buses instead of the metro. For Rome, I'm going to say the opposite. I highly recommend you take the metro and not the buses, because yeah, I've had also some like negative experiences in the past while taking the bus, especially when they're very full. I have been groped by like old men and stuff. So I just would say take the metro. The metro here is very deep, so I'm always struggling a little bit with my fear of heights, but it's all right. I can manage. You have different metro lines. I think it's 3. I'm not quite sure about that. But basically, you can get this little card. It's basically just a paper card with a code on it. And you can charge like the card with tickets, and then you can use the card to ride around the metro. And also the buses, I have not tried that. I'm only talking about the metro. Now, I would recommend you don't try to buy this at the like very busy metro stations. I, for some reason, decided to do it yesterday at the Colosseo one, and that was terrible. However, I'm very close to the Repubblica metro station. That one is quite calm, and usually there's no long queues on the, the what do you call that? The machines that give you the tickets. It might be that you have to pay 50 cents for this card, but there was an option, kind of like a special offer, to buy 3 rides and then you get the card for free. So I did that yesterday, and then you just load it up with some tickets and then you can use it. Now the thing is very fiddly. Like, I'm having a lot of issues with it. Like, when I try to go through the things, it will always tell me like, oh no, the code's not valid, and I have to try like 4 or 5 times. And yesterday I even had to change the gate to a different one, and then suddenly it works. So it is fiddly, it is annoying, but yeah, it's still better than walking everywhere here. I think I wanted to talk about something else, but I forgot. I think you will have seen the footage of my little trip yesterday. And with all of these places, you will have a ton of like people who try to sell you things. What I found interesting, I haven't really noticed before, is that here you have a lot of people who offer hand readings and tarot readings at night. I haven't seen that around yet. That was quite interesting. I personally wouldn't do it, but maybe if you want, this could be the place. So yeah, today I have my little Roman adventure with the Colosseum and stuff. So I'll talk to you again when I'm back. Hello, it's me. I'm here to update you. And let me just start by saying that today did not go as planned. So this is going to be a bit of a long update, and yeah, let's start with yesterday, because yesterday, as I had promised, I went to the Forum Romanum, the Colosseo, the Palatin, and then I also explored some new areas. So I had the guided tour for the Forum Romanum, Colosseo and Palatin, which was really, really great. I really enjoyed the tour. The guide was a little bit odd, but it was still like great information, and just seeing these sites is really, really fantastic. So I had a great time with that. I would highly recommend, if you come here, especially if it is your first time, to book a tour like that, because yeah, you get like all the information, and it just really enlivens the experience. Because let's be honest, like the Forum Romanum is just a pile of stones, and yeah, if you have someone there to like kind of bring it to life, so to speak, and to explain like which pile of stone was which building and stuff, and for what it was used, is so much more interesting. So I really had a good time with that. Now, if you do this tour, you want to make sure that you bring your ID. This is the first place where they really actually checked with the IDs that you are the person on the ticket, basically. So that's important. And then also, if you bring a bottle of water, which is really great in Rome, you have all of these public little fountains that you can fill up your water with. So you don't need to buy water. It's very expensive here. You have all of these like vendors selling you like a small bottle of water for €1, which is like crazy. So definitely bring your bottle, fill it up. It's also cold when it comes out of these fountains, so it's just perfect. Apart from that, I think I will just show you the footage. I have done tours like that many, many times. I don't think I've ever been on the like stage platform of the Colosseum before. I think that was actually my first time. At least I can't really remember it, but a lot of this stuff has been like many, many years ago. So the first time I came here is now almost 20 years ago. And the last time was also like probably around 10 years ago. So, well, I don't want to be that person. It is kind of shocking to see some of the changes, like some stuff that was for free, now you have to pay, or like, for some things you just can't really access them anymore without like long queues and having your bags checked and stuff. So it's definitely a lot of changes, which has to do just with the sheer amount of tourists you now have in the city. So it's not bad, but in some situations it was a little bit shocking to me, to be honest.
So talking about some other things that I did. So after we ended with the Colosseum, the guide had said that behind the Colosseum you have a couple of small streets with restaurants, so I just went to one of those restaurants. By that time it was like almost 2 in the afternoon, so just had a quick little lunch there. And then I decided to just walk around a little bit. I had thought about going to the Castello d'Angelo, however, my feet hurt so much all the time now. I've just been walking too much, so I canceled that plan. Instead, I decided to go to the Bocca della Verità. This is just one of those like touristy picture things, but it's also a little bit interesting. So basically, you have this like very, very small old church that you might overlook very easily. So I will show you a picture of it, because if you don't know, you might not even notice that you're at the spot. And I recognized it mostly because there was just a long queue of people. As I said, lots of queuing now. So you get in the queue, and it was so funny and cute because there was this guy who was mainly just there to kind of like watch out for the stuff. Like, he was an employee there obviously, but he just took everyone's picture. Just like, it wasn't his job, but he just ended up doing it because he was like kind of a fun, nice guy, and it was so super, super cute. So yeah, I have my picture taken, and I really appreciated it, because if you travel alone, sometimes, you know, I'm very bad with selfies, so I think it's like cool if someone offers to take your picture. Obviously some random people have done that as well, which is super nice, and I have taken like people's picture, whatever. But yeah, it was just so funny. And after you take your picture, now, because you have this whole like queue system, you can only exit through the church, which is actually quite nice. It's like a very old small church. It was very atmospheric in there, very beautiful. And then after that, I decided to go to, I think it's called the Teatro Marcelli. So you might not even have heard about this one, but apparently this was one of the inspirations for building the Colosseum, because it was a theater that already had the kind of like arches that way. However, during the Middle Ages, it was completely built in. So just like a couple hundred years ago, they started clearing that area out again. So today you can see the Teatro again. However, you still have like kind of the houses on top. It looks very interesting, very, very cool. I really like the way they present it, because it just really reflects what I said. What I love so much about Rome is how it's everything at once, and the different parts like kind of growing into each other. So I thought it was really, really cool. I went to look at that. You can't really do anything except for like look at it. It's like a park, you don't have to pay anything for it. And right behind it is the old Jewish ghetto. So there you have a very, very beautiful synagogue you can look at, as well as some like old streets with a lot of restaurants. And the tour guide said that these restaurants still have like very old Italian recipes. So she really recommended like trying out those little restaurants. I only went and had some tiramisu. It was very good. So I was very happy with that. And I think it was just like really cute in there. And that was yesterday. And then for today, my plan was to go to the Vatican Museums. And I had booked a guided tour. I've never had that before, so I thought I would just try it out. And I overthink everything. If I make plans, I have to check everything 120 times. Lucky me, I got up quite early, got ready quite early, got breakfast quite early. So at 8 o'clock, I was ready. I wanted to film all of these updates. However, my little checking mind was like, hey, let me just check again for the metro. And lo and behold, it told me the metro was out. It had technical difficulties. It didn't go. So I grabbed like my essentials, my little bag, and I ran out the door and I power walked for an hour to the Vatican Museum so I would make my guided tour. My feet hurt so much. Then halfway there, I have these like little blister thingies because I still haven't broken in those damn shoes. Halfway there, one of them came off and I didn't pack extras. So you have a new blister now, luckily. And yeah, that was a lot. But I made it just in time, really just in time. It was perfect. I did the guided tour. Now, the thing is, they don't show you everything, obviously. They show you a couple of like special things. So it was interesting. I didn't hate doing it. I think it's like really good you get to skip the line basically because they have like an extra entrance for the guided tour people. However, then it ends in the Sixtine Chapel. And if you want to see the things you have previously brushed over, you have to do the whole thing again, basically, because there's really just one way with a few little detours left and right, but you always have to do like the full course. You can't really go back because it's just too many people to like go backwards. So I did the whole shebang with my hurt feet twice. I still got to see everything that I like seeing there. So it's fine. I survived. So after that, I wanted to take a quick look at the cathedral. And I must say, now you can't even go on the place before the cathedral. Like even that you have to queue for and they will check your bags. Like back in my day, the place was like open, you know? You could like stand in front of the cathedral. So now you can't even do that. The whole thing is like sectioned off and yeah, I don't know. I felt a little bit sad about that. So yeah, I saw it from afar because I really didn't feel like queuing and standing anymore. And then when you go from the cathedral to the Castello d'Angelo, there is this wall that connects the two. Or basically not the cathedral, but it connects the Vatican to the Castello. And inside this wall is a secret passage so that the Pope, when someone would attack, could go into the Castello and kind of be safe, because that's like a stronghold kind of situation. So you can basically go along this wall, and then you will get to the Castello, and you can see where the little walkway goes into it. And behind the wall, you have a lot of like smaller streets with also little restaurants and stuff. Personally, I must say that whenever I have eaten there, it has been the worst food in all of Italy. I don't know what it is. Either it's like really bad luck, but today I had the worst pizza, and the last time I was there, I had the worst pasta. I would not recommend going there. Instead, as the Castello was closed today, so I only looked at it from the front, and then leading from the Castello over the river, you have the Ponte d'Angelo, I think it's called. And from there, you have like amazing views, because like if you look at the Castello from the front, it almost looks like a ship. It's like very interesting, very beautiful. So you can look from the bridge onto the Castello. Very great. And then you cross the bridge, and then you're immediately back into like all the like little streets where you have tons of restaurants and all of that where you can go. And so I did that. I decided to go to the Pantheon, and now that is for money. So now you have to pay €5 to get in, which also was not the case when I was here all the previous times. But, it's fine, whatever. The Catholic Church apparently doesn't have enough money anymore. I paid the €5. You have basically 3 queues in front of it. You have one where you can only pay cash. Then you have one for all the like previously bought tickets. And then you have one where you can only pay with your credit card. And I was very lucky, like I didn't stand in line there for a very long time. When I went out, the line was much longer. So I think it is a little bit of a luck situation, but personally I wouldn't say you need to buy the tickets in advance. That doesn't really help you. It didn't seem like their line was moving any faster. And yeah, basically inside it is like a mix of an old church and an old Roman temple. Inside, it definitely has more of the like church feeling, while outside it feels more like the Roman temple, because you still have the whole like portico situation at the front. What's special about the Pantheon as well is that inside you have the tomb of Raphael, and yeah, a lot of people go there to take a picture of that. That was basically my day. On the way home, I decided to get my first and probably last gelato. I'm not a big like ice cream person when it comes to like on the hand kind of like gelato kind of ice cream. It's usually like too much, and I just don't love it. I must say that the interaction was like hilarious from front to start. Whatever I was trying to say. So basically, I walked in there, I wanted a small one, he gave me a medium one. Then I wanted melon, he almost gave me caramel. And then when I wanted to pay, he said like he couldn't take money, he would only take like by card. So I was like, yeah, I don't have a card with me. Like I only had some money. I mean, like it's like €5, you know what I mean? So then a girl from the back told him to take the money, and like it was all so confused. And then yeah, it was just ice cream, very expensive fucking ice cream. So probably not doing that again. You know, sometimes it just feels like you have to do something when you're at a certain place. So probably should have skipped that. I have now completed almost all of my favorite foods from Italy. I think the only thing I haven't had yet is spaghetti carbonara. Apart from that, I've had pretty much all of the favorites. So That's very good. And we still have a few days left, however, not for this vlog. So I don't know if I will do anything else while I'm here, but I will talk to you again to close out this vlog. I hope this was somewhat interesting. I feel like I just babbled at you a ton, but I hope that I have enough like background footage that it is still interesting. You can let me know in the comments, but yeah, for now, today's the beginning of the magic readathon, so I will probably just spend it in bed reading.
So we have reached my little end. We have reached the end of my little Rome adventure. The bags are packed. I will check out of the hotel in a second and hop on the train to Genoa. Today I decided to play it really cool. I just went to the post office to ship off some of my postcards to my friends and family. This time I did not buy the scammer stamps. However, the post office is also very interesting because it was almost completely empty, but still you have to draw a number and sit down and wait for that number. And then they also had trouble finding the Europe stamps. So I really hope this will like work out and those postcards will actually reach my family. So yeah, that was kind of a fun experience. So definitely if you go to an Italian post office, just yeah, you might need a little bit more time than you anticipated to buy 6 stamps. But as I said, I would highly recommend you go to the post office, like buy your postcards, then write them, and then go to the post office, buy the stamps, and just leave the cards there. That's still the easiest way to ship them off, I guess. Do not buy the stamps you get offered when you buy postcards in little souvenir shops. Those are all scams. They cost way more. They will be on the way for weeks and weeks and weeks. And it is also yeah, very difficult to find the places where you can actually drop them off, because there's like different types of these scammer businesses. So if you put yours in the wrong mailbox, they will never reach anywhere. So keep that in mind. After that, I went to a church that is very close to the Termini train station. I now forgot what it's called, but if I'm like really excited while I'm editing this, I will add the name in. And this one, I think there's also maybe the grave of a pope. I got this explained to me by a tour guide and then completely forgot again. And right now I'm too lazy to look it up. But yeah, it was a very beautiful church. It was a little bit confusing because when you're in the front, you think you can't enter, but you just have to go around to the back, and that's where the entrance actually is. They do a little back check as they always do, but there wasn't a queue this morning, so it all worked out like very quickly. And now I have a couple of minutes left in my room while I organize my last couple of things. And then after that, I will check out. Then I will chill a little bit in the lobby and then catch my train. So maybe something else if you go around Rome in particular. Like, this is something that applies to a lot of parts of Italy, but I feel like the north is not quite as bad. If you want to cross a street, there is 2 options really. You either have like the striped walkways or you have the traffic lights. Usually you only have the striped walkways, and with those it's really survival of the fittest. So the strongest mind wins. Basically, you do not look if anything's approaching, you just start walking. And I promise you, they will stop. And the important thing is, do not make eye contact. As soon as you hesitate, you lose. They will not stop. You really just have to look straight ahead and walk, and also kind of walk fast, because they will get annoyed if you take your time. So that's maybe something like, because I see so many tourists like very uncomfortable at these crosswalks, you just have to do it, you know. The dangerous thing for me has been in the past that I try to do that also in Germany, but also when there is no crosswalk, and I almost got run over once. So it really just applies to the crosswalks. I will end this vlog here. I know I have been all over the place. This has definitely been a trip. This is not a vacation, you guys. This is not a vacation. My feet hurt so much. I can barely walk, but today I have a long train ride, so I hope I'll get some rest today. I will do one more vlog. That vlog will be about Genoa, Milano, maybe Verona, and Trento. So if you're interested in that, that will come out on my channel in a few days. And so I hope you subscribe. I hope you let me know in the comments if you've ever been to Rome or whether this is a destination you would like to see one day. I highly recommend it. It's still my favorite place in the world, even though it's definitely changed. And I will go back for sure. So yeah, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.